From ideas to action. Good evening. Over the last few conversations, we explored, among other issues, 12 powerful second act ideas for Nigerian professionals and later 13 more powerful ideas. And honestly, the response has been deeply revealing and very overwhelming. Many people have reached out privately to share their fears, to share excitement. Some have said, for the first time, I'm beginning to see possibilities beyond retirement. And I believe something important is becoming clear. Many professionals are not short of experience, they're not short of intelligence, they're not short of value. What many people have lacked is structure, direction, community, and intentional pathways for transition. Community, note that. Because one thing is becoming increasingly obvious. Knowing possibilities is not enough. People also need to know their environments and help them to begin moving intentionally towards these possibilities. And that realization is leading Second Act Naija into its next phase. You see, Second Act Naija was never intended to become merely a platform for discussing retirement. The deeper vision has always been intentional reinvention, meaningful transition, continued relevance, contribution, and helping thoughtful men and women redesign life beyond title more consciously. And that is why we are beginning something new on Second Act Naija. We're introducing Second Act Circles. Over the coming weeks, we'll begin introducing what I call the Second Act Circles. These will be small, structured communities built around specific second act interests and pathways. Not random social groups, not noisy WhatsApp platforms, but thoughtful circles where experienced professionals can explore possibilities, learn together, share insights, receive guidance, build relationships, and begin taking practical steps towards intentional reinvention. Because transition becomes easier when people do not journey alone. Why this matters is because many professionals approach retirement individually and emotionally. And unfortunately, that leads to confusion, it leads to isolation, it leads to poor decisions, panic investments, and unstructured experimentation. But reinvention becomes more powerful when it is thoughtful, it is guided, when it's collaborative and intentional. That is what these cycles are designed to encourage. The first pilot cycles. We'll begin carefully and intentionally with a few pilot circles. For example, number one, the agribusiness and food systems circle. For professionals who are interested in structured agriculture, food systems, agro-processing, cooperatives, aggregation, and agricultural enterprise. We're not looking at emotional farming or emotional retirement farming here, but thoughtful agribusiness exploration. Number two, the executive advisory and consulting circle. This is for professionals who are interested in consulting, governance, advisory work, board readiness, executive mentoring, and institutional guidance. The training, mentorship, and knowledge circle is the third one. For professionals who are interested in teaching, coaching, mentoring, speaking, youth development, leadership training, and knowledge transfer. Important positioning, let me say this clearly. These circles are not built around the assumption that life is ending. Never. They are built around the belief that experience still has value and that relevance can continue, that contribution can continue, and that thoughtful professionals can intentionally redesign what comes next. How this will work, let me explain. Over the coming weeks, we'll begin sharing structured information to those who may wish to express interest. The first step will be a structured expression of interest process for professionals who may wish to participate in these early pilot circles. Initially, the circles will remain intentionally small and carefully curated as we build the structure thoughtfully. The goal is not speed. The goal is meaningful engagement, thoughtful collaboration, and intentional reinvention. We want thoughtful participation, meaningful engagement, serious-minded people, and carefully structured exploration. Because meaningful reinvention deserves seriousness. On a final note, perhaps one of the greatest mistakes society makes is assuming that retirement means withdrawal from meaningful life. But I believe something different. I believe many experienced professionals are entering one of the most important phases of their lives, a phase that can still produce impact, wisdom, mentorship, enterprise, leadership, and meaningful contribution. But that future must be built intentionally. And perhaps that is what Second Act Naija is truly becoming, not merely a conversation about retirement, but a platform helping thoughtful men and women move from drift to design, from uncertainty to structure, and from passive transition to intentional reinvention. I'm Obayemi Oladipo, and this Second Act Naija, reinvent, rebuild, rise. Thank you very much, and happy Father's Day to all the men out there. God bless you all.
Yay, we're done.